Hello, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs. How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? I hope you are all doing fabulous. And this video that you're about to watch is actually a re-upload from one over a year ago. And it goes into some good examples about states of consciousness that I think would be helpful to some of you today. If you're struggling to really understand the difference between states, what it means to be in one. Some really good examples, in my opinion. And we're going to thank Bella, my girl Bella, for this because she is the inspiration. She's the reason why this video is going up today because she helped point it out to me. So thank you, Bella. So it's a re-upload. I've only ever done something like this once before. I got a lot of content. I got over 800 videos and I forget what I have. And once something's uploaded, that's it. It's gone from my memory. Because I genuinely only record on downloads. Like, download it in the moment. What flows out. That's how I record. So then I forget once it's up. Unless somebody brings it to my attention. Like, the manifest your specific person back or something like that. Fast video. That only stays in my awareness because people consistently bring it up to me. Which I'm grateful for. I'm just saying. Outside of that, What you will notice, this video is so old. If you're new to my channel, you didn't know that I chipped my tooth over a year ago. Right around after this video was uploaded. So you can see the difference in my tooth. I could see now when I look at it how different it was starting to become. I should have known, but I didn't notice it. I notice it now. I also was rocking a killer tan in this video, and it's only making my paleness stick out to me in this moment. I'm not loving it. The tan's coming back. I prefer it. I don't enjoy being pale. Never have. So, yeah. You're not going to be able to help but notice it. So, onwards to the video. Hello, my fellow limitless HBICs. How you doing this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? It's evening, so the lighting kind of sucks. Okay? It kind of sucks, but I want to record. I'm in the mood, and I feel like talking. So, I don't think you care. Right? You don't care. It's the message. It's not necessarily the picture. You know what I'm saying? This isn't a beauty channel. So, selling myself time. If you need help figuring out what's going on between you and your manifestation, or if you need some help, some guidance, email me at manifestingwithkimberly@gmail.com. All of my coaching info is in the Dropbox below. It's also on the screens. It just went by. This video is going to be discussing third parties and obstacles. That looked perfect. How pretty. You see, third parties are not necessarily another person in your scenario. A third party can be anything that you consider to be in the way of your manifestation. Anything. So, for instance, if you have a specific person and you feel they are spending too much time with their friends, the friends are the third party. If you have a specific person and you think they are working too much, or they're like, workaholics, their job, their workaholicness is the third party. Make sense? Okay. So if that scenario is in your world, you're probably looking at it as an obstacle. And this is where my favorite subject comes in, which is states of consciousness. And I know you guys, just hear me. If you really want to manifest anything, your person, money, whatever, health, anything, you've got to be able to start entertaining the thoughts of your state. And I know, and it's probably because I have an assumption of it, but I got to work on, is that some of you find states overwhelming or you consider it advanced manifesting. And it's not. It's not advanced manifesting. It's actually how we're manifesting at all times, whether you feel you're a part of it or not, or whether you feel like identifying your state or not, it's happening. I know that what is most often talked about within the manifestation community is affirmations, visualizations, scripting, and those are all wonderful tools that we want to continue doing if they make us happy. Yeah? Okay. But that's not what's manifesting for you. It's your mind, right? It's your subconscious mind. But it's also your state. It is your state. And you are in a state, whether you are where you are or where that you are or not. Okay? I tend to house any state where you feel like something's happening to you, where you feel separate from your God power, your I amness. I like to just put an umbrella state called the victim state. So anything can be housed under the victim state where you are feeling life is happening to you and it's out of your control. You are in a victim state, okay? So, and then there's various forms of victim state, and, you know, we're all on our own journeys. We're all individuals. I don't know what victim state you're in, but you do by your own thoughts, your actual thoughts, okay? How we identify what state we are in is simply our thoughts. What we are thinking, what we are feeling, and how we are perceiving our reality. How we are looking at our 3D and thinking what's going on, how we're taking it in, how we think things are happening right now. So, if you are in any type of a victim state, it is very common that we start seeing our specific person as doing things to us as if they have the conscious choice to hurt us or just show up as versions we do not prefer, okay? And that's just not how life's happening. That's not how your 3D really is. And that's not really the experience, but it's hard to see differently when you are in that victim state. And this is why. Each state, and there are just, actually, who knows? There could be millions of different states, okay? I don't think there's a limit, is what I'm trying to say. There are no limits to the states of how many that we could be embodying. But the number of states doesn't matter. What matters is what your dwelling state is, okay? But hear me out. Your state, whatever state you're embodying, every single state, every single individual state, are you hearing me? I want you to hear that. Every individual state has its own self-concept. Self-concept. And I'm bringing this up because I saw a question on one of my videos. One of my beautiful, well, we'll say handsome because it was a dude, handsome HBICs didn't resonate with a video from another creator. And she was discussing states and how self-concept is not following you. And this is my response to that person, because I think we need to really, really understand what the states are. And this person didn't resonate, and it was all polite. This was not a rude individual at all. He was just expressing, not understanding what this other creator was saying. I think the reason why it's not resonating with some of you is because this community has been bogged down with, if you don't fix your self-concept, you're never gonna get anything. Self-concept. You know, this endless self-concept journey. You're a bag of shit without a good self-concept. All this shit with self-concept. Only do self-concept affirmations. No. No. You don't have to stick to any of those rules. It is bullshit, and I want to free you from it because I am telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Please, please feel it from me in this video. I am manifesting beautifully. Beautifully. Not to say I never have a moment here and there where my human side comes in and maybe something will upset me, trigger me, whatnot. But my response time to triggers is significantly lower. Why? Because I have grasped that manifesting is from your state. And I've been trying to discuss this and weasel it into you guys But I know we get so married to our affirmations or our visuals or our scripting that states can feel like, what is this? And I understand, but that is where we're manifesting from. So now hear me out. See, I'm excitable because, guys, I have so much evidence that it's the states. And it is how I got my person back. And it is how I've maintained my person. I have not been affirming all day long to have this person in my life. I haven't. All right. So anyway, I'll come back to that. I still am. I do have a video recorded about my SP story and getting back and all that kind of stuff. And I will put that up. But today is about obstacles and states. So hear me. Literally every state has its own self-concept. Hence why you do not need to go on this relentless self-concept journey. It's not to say to stop affirming self-concept. I don't mean that. Just hear me. When you are in a state, you have your own self-concept, your own experiences, your own manifestations. So victim state has its own victim self-concept, whatever that might be filled with, its own experiences, its own manifestations, its own perceptions, okay? But then if we shift on over to the woman or man who has it all state, like I call it, or the Kim has it all state, this is a completely different self-concept than over here in victim state. Brand new. Self-concept in victim mode did not follow Kim to the woman or man who has it all state. And I know some of you struggle to understand that. I'll give you an example to help you better get it. In the woman or man who has it all state, any type of self-concept, anythings are all gone. You are flawless self-concept over here. And you are truly in tune with I am the God of my reality. This is the state where you grasp it, you love it, you know it, and you know nothing can stop you from getting what you want. And also, this beautiful woman has it all, woman or man who has it all state, has its own manifestations, its own experiences, and its own interpretations of its 3D. So back over to victim mode. Victim mode, I gotta stop calling it mode, sorry. If that was confusing, I meant to say state. Over in victim state, your ability to perceive, so the perception of how you are interpreting your 3D is 100% different than if you were over here in the woman or man who has it all state. Now, no worries. We do not have to maintain the woman or man who has it all state 24/7 in order to manifest our desires. No, we do not. But to get a steady flow of wonderfulness, we should be somewhere in between, closer to over there, obviously. But if we could get our dwelling state at minimum a few degrees from over there would be great. Hence why we don't have to be perfect. Hence why we don't have to have a perfect self-concept, okay? But legitimately, I'm only discussing victim state and the woman or man who has it all state, but there are tons of states in between. And they all have their own self-concepts, their own experiences, and their own manifestations and their own way to interpret and perceive their 3D. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, when you are in the woman or man who has it all state, when your SP doesn't text you first thing in the morning, it is not even a blip of concern of yours. You still are in this, I know, I'll talk about myself. I know that man loves me. No questions. He's head over heels in love with me. I have nothing to worry about. I don't have to hear from him first thing in the morning to know that I'm the God of my reality, and I know he loves me, and I know he's going anywhere, and he's loyal and faithful to me, and there is nothing that can stop me from getting all my desires, and all my desires are honestly starting to show up in every single area. Nothing to worry about. That's how I perceive my 3D in that moment, in that state. But if I'm over here in victim mode, any mode where you do not really resonate in this moment, that you're the God of your reality because you're back to being totally focused on your 3D, When you don't get that morning message, or I don't get that morning message, I now perceive and interpret that as, wow, well, clearly I'm not a priority. Clearly I'm not a fucking priority. And if I was a priority, I would have gotten that text. And clearly you're falling out of love with me, because if I'm not a priority, you definitely can't love me enough, or I would be a priority, and I would have gotten that text. And next comes our spiral. See what I'm saying? Do you see how the perception of something in your 3D is completely different per state? And that is because over here, your self-concept's in the fucking toilet. You don't feel chosen. You don't feel like a priority. And that's why you perceive circumstances in your 3D the way you do. But when you work on yourself, which is affirming for self-concept, affirming for your person, whatever you're working on, whether you're scripting, visualizing, those are the tools, along with revision and inner conversations, that are helping you shift your state. The shortcut to all of that shit is actually starting to pay attention to your thoughts. For real, for real. Not flipping them. Interpreting. Okay. I'm feeling triggered because I'm not feeling like a priority to my specific person. I'm feeling triggered in this moment. It is bothering me. I'm not feeling loved because I'm not a priority. I don't feel good enough. All the things we feel in victim mode. I feel my, specific person is not treating me as good as I deserve. Blah, blah, blah. The spiral ensues. Well, let's take it back a minute. Okay. I don't like how he's showing up. He's treating me like a non-priority. In that moment, I am in victim state. Well, guess what? Not only am I perceiving something much differently than I would over here, my person can only reflect the state I'm in. So when I am stuck in victim state, it is not shocking when specific person is showing up, providing me with plenty of things to fucking trigger me, or not contacting me enough, or not sounding interested when speaking to me on the phone, and not, asking me to go out Friday night, whatever you guys do in your relationships, you know what I'm saying? You perceive all these things differently, not in a good way, and your person is stuck in the acting role, reflecting your state. When you move back or through the states, you know by your thoughts that you are changing states. Because the analogy I like to use is, each state is a set of sunglasses. And of course, purple is going to be the woman who has it all state, yeah? Well, when I have my purple woman or man who has it all state glasses on, I see everything easy, no issues, nothing offends me, not going to get hurt, nothing to worry about. I know I'm getting my manifestations. Everything is perfection, and SP is showing up beautifully. But when we start getting triggered, if something farts sideways, depending on what colored glasses I'm wearing, right? I'm going to interpret things much differently. In that moment, if I'm being triggered, I automatically know I'm not necessarily in the woman or man who has it all state. But there's a way of looking at it as, when those feelings are coming up while you're triggered, sit with it for a minute. Figure out where that's coming from to help you identify what state you're in. Do you see what I'm saying? Is it making sense? Okay, it's like a day later. So I'm here to finish. Okay, so I'm hoping everything I just explained about states makes some sense. Okay, so when it comes to the obstacles, yes, the obstacles, the filthy, dirty, third-party obstacles. whatever that is in your situation. Let me word it like this. If you would put a little more time focusing on the you, and I don't mean the, you know, your self-concept affirmations, I am chosen, I am wanted, I am loved. No, I mean really, 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 really focusing on you and understanding that you are a part or the I am, that you are God. And if you put more focus there and concern yourself with what state you're embodying, instead of trying to fix 3D circumstances or obstacles, when you focus on your state and the who you are, the I am God. I'm going to keep saying it. I know it's repetitive because I really want you to hear me. When your focus goes here, that obstacle is going to melt away. The only reason why any type of obstacle, third party, is even in your equation is because you put your focus on 3D circumstances. You allowed yourself to marinate, possibly with inner talk, on the 3D circumstances. Listen, and we all have done this, by the way. We're all guilty of this, yeah? But here's your wake-up moment. When you put the focus on truly identifying who you are. I know for some of you, you're like, what do you mean? I mean, what is the state you're embodying right now? Are you in a state where you feel like circumstances are happening to you? Maybe even circumstances or obstacles that you feel so strongly that you never thought about, that it was never in your mind. So I don't understand why it's here. If that's you, or better yet, are you someone who has been trying to work on your states? And yet you're seeing things out in your 3D like, wait a minute, I've been trying to work on my state. I thought I was maintaining the state. And this keeps showing up. I love how Poop is totally destroying this moment with her drinking water. But, so maybe some of you are even feeling that way. And I get that because I felt that way at least once. Lots more than that. At a minimum, at least one time, okay? So I get it. So if you are having any of those questions in your mind, I am telling you, it's time to bring your focus back to you. I'm sincerely talking about the true you, your identity as the I am. When it really clicks with you, that you're really the God of your reality. And I mean clicks. I mean really clicks. That you are God. You have nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to fear. There are no obstacles or third parties that can stand in the way of your manifestation. And you don't need to do anything about the obstacles or the third parties. You focus on your state that you are embodying, and you put your focus on the what you want to experience. So if it's a specific person, you put your focus on truly being the version of yourself who has the relationship of your dreams. And it's on you to decide what that relationship is. There is nothing out here that can stop you from having it. Things will melt or fall away because your 3D will always match your state. Always. Think of it as, and keep in mind, we shift states constantly. And so I really want you to understand it. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect. I know I'm repeating myself, but you don't have to be perfect. It's okay if you can't hold that state. But the more often you get yourself back there and put your focus not on what's happening in your 3D, but putting the focus on, my only concern is being in the state. My only concern is me maintaining a state that is beneficial to me getting what I want. When your focus becomes solely there, it will be easier and easier for you to shift back to it when you fall out. And you will know you fall out only by your thoughts. So there's nothing to fear. It's not like you're not gonna know if you're there, okay? The more time you spend on changing you, just you, the quicker that manifestation, that specific person, that money, the health, whatever it is you're manifesting, the quicker you put your focus here, the quicker it's going to come. The quicker those circumstances, those obstacles fall away. If you're struggling with an obstacle and it's hard for you to stay on your manifestation game because it truly feels like you don't understand or see how it's possible that it could change. In that moment, do I need to tell you how you know you're not focused on being the I am and you are maintaining a victim state? But that aside, start with baby steps. Start thinking of the solution instead of looking at the problem. Meaning, start with a baby step affirmation. Talk to yourself like, for example, if you haven't heard from SP in a while, you're in quiet time. Maybe start with something that can ease you into comfortableness and drop the resistance. Like, wouldn't it be awesome if SP contacted me today? Wouldn't it be awesome if I was finally the version of myself that gets contacted every single day by my SP? Isn't that awesome? Wouldn't it be awesome if when a bill came in, I could just be like, yep, boop, boop, pay you. Now I'm going back to buying my Balenciaga, whatever it is, your Louis Vuitton. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome to not give a rat's ass when a bill came in? Wouldn't it be awesome to be showered with love, attention, and affection from my specific person? Say something instead of declaring it for a moment. If you're struggling with resistance is what I'm trying to say. Word your affirmation, ease it in, meaning like feeling resistance when you're trying to shift your state. Using affirmations like the wouldn't it be wonderful, right? Wouldn't it be awesome if, wouldn't it be wonderful? I'm sure in that moment you can feel the least resistance in affirming something like that, as opposed to saying, you know, my SP contacts me constantly. Because if you're struggling for this moment, truly believe that you're the God of your reality, and you're struggling to believe that that outer world is going to start changing, then start focusing on just your damn state and say affirmations or script affirmations like that have less resistance. Try that to baby step yourself. Because I'm telling you, if you're feeling the resistance to what you're experiencing out here, when you start wording things or thinking it from the perspective of, wouldn't it be awesome if, how awesome would it be if blank blank happened? Do you feel there's no tension in that? It's little bits. It relieves you of tension in the moment. In the moment. And that is a way to start baby stepping yourself. If you're struggling to have faith in any of this, that's a small little idea. When you truly start to really, I mean, not just say it, oh, I'm God. I'm the God of my reality. No, think about what you're saying. Bask in that for a moment. Really think about it. Don't hope. Think. I'm the God of my reality. I am. I'm truly the cause of what I'm experiencing out here. I am. What the fuck do I have to be afraid of? What do I have to fear? Nothing. If I solely put my focus on the version of myself that is an unstoppable bitch who knows she's always going to get her desires and she's going to live a satiated, fulfilled life, receiving love from the vessel of her choice, SP. And you're telling yourself, you're realizing your God power. Tell yourself it will be a satiated existence. You're hungry for nothing. Think about that. Marinate in that. Spend your time focusing on the you, your God power, and watch everything start to melt away in that 3D. I promise you. I'm not telling you to give up your manifestation games. I'm not. They are the tools that can help shift you. But don't just affirm and 10 minutes later go back to focusing on your damn circumstance. It's an endless cycle. Put your focus on the badass self that you are with the God power you're harnessing and realize we have nothing to fear. Whatever ugly circumstance you're facing, there is nothing that can stop you. Literally nothing. Because you're God. I love that. I love it. It's okay to feel safe. You don't have to protect yourself anymore. That's a lot of our problem. We're afraid to be vulnerable. We don't have to be anymore. You know, on that note, I think I'm done talking. I'm hoping that was... No! Poop and I hope that this video was helpful. No! And on that, I already said that. I'll see you in a day or two, okay? If there's still more questions, or you're concerned about your circumstance and obstacle, you probably already know the answer I'm going to give you. But leave it in the comments below, okay? I'll make a video. All right? Love you all. See you all in a day. Focus on you. You.